welcome back. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make an effective base cream and also an effective super whitening face cream. Now this base cream is going to be for the face. This is my recipe. I have already written my recipe down and I'm going to put that at the end of the video, so make sure to watch to the end. Now some of the ingredients I'm going to be using is omega-3 oil. This helps to regulate the skin's oil production, improve balance, hydration. It can also help soften rough skin, dry skin, and it also has a soothing effect on irritated skin. We're also going to be using rosehip oil. Now rosehip oil contains a lot of fatty acids. It can help with dry skin. It is good to absorb oil. It has an antioxidant effect, and it also helps to carry products deep down into the layer of the skin. We're also going to be using hyaluronic acid, which is a humectant and an anti-aging ingredient. We're also going to be using alpha arbutin, which is a whitening active, and of course emulsifiers that we're going to be using today. Now before we start, as usual, I'm going to sanitize my workspace. Now I'm not endorsing any brand here. You can go ahead to use any form of sanitizer that you can find in your local supply stores, or any alcohol that you can find around, just to make sure that your products are well sanitized, well protected from any form of microbials and any growth of molds and all of that. Okay, so here is my measuring cup and my measuring beaker, and in this beaker I'm going to measure out my oil phase of our formulation. Now I'm going to be using emulsifying wax. We talked about some emulsifiers yesterday, and you can refer back to your notes to get the emulsifiers that we talked about yesterday. Now the kind of emulsifier you use, the kind of oils you use, will determine what the final result of your product will be. Now if you want something really creamy, very buttery, very smooth, and easy to put on the skin, then you want to go with emulsifying wax. Well, emulsifying wax is one of the most common waxes that you can use. Now stearyl alcohol or stearic acid is a thickener. It's also a stabilizer, and this can help the texture of your product at the end of your formulation. Like I said, it helps to stabilize ingredients in products, and it also helps with dry skin, and if it's used in a smaller amount, it is good for every skin type, which is why we're using this at a very small amount in this formulation. You can also use cetyl alcohol if you want. Now I'm also going to be adding my soy lecithin. Soy lecithin is also an emulsifier, a thickener, and it also acts as a humectant, which helps to keep your skin hydrated. It also helps in the process of cell regeneration and renewal, which makes the skin healthy and beautiful. Soy lecithin is loaded. It's a very good ingredient. It's loaded with beautiful antioxidants and ebullient properties, which will help keep your products beautiful. Now I'm also going to be using polysorbate 80, which is used in cosmetics as a non-ionic surfactant and emulsifier. We talked about this yesterday. It helps the oil to mix with water to form emulsions. We talked about it yesterday as well. It also allows other ingredients to dissolve better in the skin, which means it is a vehicle to carry your other ingredients to break down and then penetrate into your skin as well, which is why we're adding it in this base cream. Now I have talked about omega 3 fatty acids earlier. It is very, very good to heal the skin as well. So even if you want to use this base cream for healing in products like to heal dry skin, chapped skin, eczema, pimples, and all of that. It helps as well as rosehip oil. Now, if you have watched up to this extent and you haven't subscribed, please take this time to subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when I post a new video. And also make sure you give this video a thumbs up and share our videos. Thank you. Now, next we're going to use cocoa butter. This is what cocoa butter looks like. It's really thick, really strong, and very solid. Now, cocoa butter is a type of plant-based oil that comes from the seeds of cocoa tree. And cocoa butter also has moisturizing properties, and it won't clog your pores, which is why we're using it in this formula. So you can basically use this base as your for your body cream, for your face cream as well. In this case, I am using it for a face cream. So cocoa butter will not clog your pores. It is frequently used to treat a variety of skin issues, including acne, inflammations, dry skin, and all of that. So I'm going to add them in here in my oil as part of my oil phase. And this cocoa butter will also help give my cream a very beautiful texture, very beautiful creamy texture. It also helps to boost the body's production of collagen, and it contains vitamin A. So you can see why I'm using all these ingredients. If you use all these ingredients for your base, you will not need to add too much when you're making your creams proper. Now, because this product is I'm going to make this into a cream at the end, I'm using Seppi White. Ordinarily, I will not add Seppi White because it's a base cream, it's a plain base. But for the purpose of this video, I'm making this a whitening base. So I'm adding Seppi White powder, which is an oil soluble powder, in my oil phase so that it will dissolve, or at least it will break down for me to be able to add it into my cream. Okay, now that we have everything in here, I'm going to take this to my double boiler and then go ahead and double boil it until it melts down before we can come and then start to create our emulsion. Now, if you are not familiar with double boiling process, you can check my YouTube. I have a video on how to do your double boiling process. Okay, so while our oil phase is double boiling and melting down, we are going to measure out our water phase. Now, in this phase, you can go ahead to create to add your actives, your water soluble active. Now, remember that if you're making this cream from scratch, it's the same process if you're making a base cream. Now, if you're just making a plain base cream that you will not use for anything else, then you can skip all the actives that we're going to add here and just go straight, use your plain old water and then create your emulsion. But because I'm trying to create a cream that will help with moisturizing of the skin, that will help to clear redness, that will help to clear pigmentations and all of that, we're going to add actives that will help to clear this. Ordinarily, I'm not supposed to be showing you this, but let me just let it go and help you guys on. So we're going to add, first of all, we're going to add my allantoin powder. Now, allantoin is an addition to anti-aging creams. It can help to minimize wrinkles, fine lines. It can help with to restore damaged skin. It also is effective in anti-irritations, and it also protects the skin from the UV ray. Now, allantoin will dissolve completely with a very high degree of water. A very hot water will dissolve your allantoin powder. I'm going to send you put a note on the boiling point of allantoin powder so that you don't have that white cast when you dissolve your allantoin powder. And you also need a certain amount of water to be able to dissolve your allantoin powder. Now, we're also going to be using kojic acid, which is one of my one of my very best ingredients for hyperpigmentations and all of that. It helps to lighten sun damaged skin, age spots, scars. It helps in anti-aging. It helps with lightening the skin. It is an all-rounder. It has antimicrobial properties. It is an all-rounder. But make sure that if you're using kojic acid, make sure you're using kojic acid dipalmitate. Now, I recently learned that there are two kinds of kojic acid dipalmitate. There's the oil soluble and there's the water soluble part, and I'm using the water soluble kojic dipalmitate. Now, we're also going to be adding lactic acid, which is an exfoliant, which will help to pave the way for ingredients to penetrate deeper into the skin to act on what they are put in the cream for, if that makes sense. So basically, this will not only help to reduce the pH of our cream, it will also help to exfoliate the skin to help ingredients penetrate better. Now, we're also going to be using a niacinamide, which in this case we're using vitamin B3. Now, niacinamide helps to prevent water loss and retain skin's moisture content. It also helps to increase keratin. It helps with anti-aging. Niacinamide also improves the surface structure. It helps to smooth out the skin's texture and reduce the look of wrinkles. And it also helps to fade out redness on the skin. So if you're having redness, especially here that I am in Abuja, the sun is really dealing with me, so I have a little redness on my face. So niacinamide helps to reduce redness and restore your skin's tone. Okay, now it is also a water soluble active. Now here I am using hyaluronic acid powder. Now, if you have been in skincare long enough, or you've been following my videos, or you've been following other people's videos, you must have heard them say, oh, hyaluronic is very, very good. Hyaluronic is known for its skin benefit, especially elevating dry skin, reducing the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and also helping to speed up wound healing. It can also help relieve under eye bags, sunspots, and all of that. It is very, very good. It helps to retain moisture on your skin. Basically, it draws moisture from the atmosphere, leaves it on your skin to keep your skin hydrated. Now, if you noticed, I put the hyaluronic powder directly into the water, and it gives you a clumpy, lumpy feel. Now, to avoid this, what you can do is add your glycerin and use the glycerin to mix your hyaluronic acid powder. That's if you're using the powder form. Use your glycerin to mix it first, so that you remove any form of clumpiness in your batch. Otherwise, you have to wait for everything to dissolve properly before you can use it. But if you dissolve it with glycerin, it will just help make everything very, very simple. Now, with the powder, as you begin to stir, you will notice that the water becomes jelly. It turns into a gel form, and that is a very beautiful process. Like, I have been using hyaluronic acid, but I have been using the liquid form, the already dissolved form, and I decided to try out the powder, and this has been my best ingredient so far. For now, right now, this is my best ingredient, and it helps to give your cream a very beautiful texture as well. Now, our oil phase is back from double boiling. It is well dissolved. The Sepi white powder has minced properly, so it's easy to mix into the water phase. Now, before you start to blend or mix your product, make sure that you're using a very powerful stick blender, and then you make sure that your blender is touching the ground or the the bottom of your mixing bowl, and then you start pouring your oil phase gradually and gently into your water phase while you are stirring or blending with your hand blender. Now this is called an emulsion blender. You need a very strong emulsion blender to create a stable cream. Like I said earlier, I said yesterday in our class, you can, if you're creating homemade creams, you have to invest in very strong and very powerful emulsion blender, because you need the strength from the emulsion blender to create the kind of emulsion or the kind of stable emulsions that you need. It is not just about the pH or the oils and all of that. Your blenders also play a big and major role in the final result of your production. Okay, sorry about that fly, as in I've never seen so much flies in one place before as I've seen in Abuja, but I'm getting used to it. So as you're blending, if you notice, I am tilting my blender to the side. So after you have poured your oil into your water, which this form is called the oil in water emulsion. This way the oil is suspended in the water, and the water is the continuous phase of your formulation. If you don't get this, go back to the notes in class, you will understand it. Now if you notice, I tilted my blender to the side to help create space for proper mixture. Now after blending everything together, this is what your cream would look like. Now for this, you are done. This is a beautiful cream. This is a beautiful base. I won't even call this a base anymore. It's a proper cream because you can use this directly. But now let me tell you something. If you want to go ahead to mix in serums and other things in this product or in this formula, make sure that you are using serums that are water soluble, meaning that you're using serums that are glycerin based. That way you will have a stable formula. Your product will mix properly. But if you go ahead to add vegetable oils, like not vegetable oils, you're adding mineral oils or even vegetable oil, any kind of oil, then you will find out that your cream will separate, because this is an oil in water emulsion. So the water is the continuous phase. So to keep your products together, you have to use ingredients that are water based. If you're doing a water in oil emulsion, then you will be using oil based serums to promix your cream. I don't know if you understand. If you don't understand, send me a message. I'll try to explain further. Now that we have our cream or our base or whatever you want to call this, you want to go ahead to add your vitamin E oil and your preservatives and also your essential oils or fragrance. In any case, I don't like to use fragrance at all. I prefer, especially when I'm doing face creams, I don't add fragrance. I rather use nice smelling essential oil, which is Lang Lang essential oil. Lang Lang essential oil is my signature scent for any of my products. So if you're buying my product, be it soap, serum, or whatever you're buying, you will always get that signature Lang Lang essential oil scent. Okay, so here we are done with our formula. You just go ahead to mix everything thoroughly and make sure that you're not leaving too much bubbles. Now you don't want to mix for too long, otherwise you create bubbles in your cream. Now you mix a bit. This fly, leave me alone now. You'll mix a bit and then you stop to check the product. Now, like I said earlier, make sure you are using a strong and very powerful emulsion blender. Now the more strength the blender gives, or the more strength in the cream, or the more power of the blender, that's how the color of your cream would be. I explained this yesterday. Now the more powerful the speed power of your blender will determine whether you're getting a white cream at the end, regardless of the fact that I added a lot of colored ingredients. You can see that I still have a very nice clear creamy colored product. So that's why I say you have to make sure you're using a very powerful emulsion blender. If you're using those white ones that they sell 10,000 naira, I'm sorry, you will not get a good cream product or a very good stable product. Now, like I always say, one ingredient can change a lot in your formula. Now, this is dimethyl isobarbate. It is a kind of skin penetrator. It is a very high purity solvent and carrier which offers a safe, effective delivery enhancement of your active ingredients in your personal skincare products. This helps to transport water-soluble actives into skin without crystallization of the active ingredient. Crystallization in the sense that, you know, when you dissolve your water-soluble active, if you keep them for a while, you see that they start to crystallize, they start to form into a crust. Now with this product, it helps to carry everything. So all our alpha-arbutin, niacinamide, all our water-soluble actives and other kind of actives that we use in this product, this dimethyl isobarbate will help to carry it. It's like a vehicle, it's like a transport. It will carry it all the way to the deeper layer of your skin that will help to make this ingredient work better or be more active or potent. So a lot of people don't show you all these things. I'm showing you this because I love you guys and I don't want you guys to fail. That's why I'm showing you all these things. Now we are done with our cream. It is beautiful, but we can't tell how effective this cream would be if we don't test the pH of our cream. Now, like I sent you earlier, I like my creams to be around 4.5 to 5.5 on the pH scale. That way I know that my cream is going to give me a very beautiful result. So we're going to check the pH of our cream by using 1% of our total batch, and then we're going to mix it with distilled water to check the pH. Now the distilled water quantity can be up to 2-3 parts of your base of the cream that you're using to mix. So here I have checked and I am not satisfied. It is about it's about 6, and I want it to be between 4.5 to 5 on the pH scale. So I'm going to go ahead and add some lactic acid, which will help to reduce the pH of this cream to give me the result that I want. Now this is my lactic acid. You can use citric acid as well if you don't have lactic acid. I don't have citric acid around me, so I'm adding more lactic acid. Because I couldn't find my dropper bottles, I'm going to put my lactic acid in here, just a tiny tad bit of lactic acid, just so I can control how much of the lactic acid I use, because this has it. Now I'm going to add my lactic acid in this container because I couldn't find my droppers, so this will help me control how much lactic acid I add in this process. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this thoroughly, make sure it is thoroughly mixed, and then I'm going to check the pH again to see if I'm comfortable with the pH of the product. Now, as you can see, the pH is still, I'm sorry you're not seeing that, the pH was still around 5 point something. So you can see it's between 5 and 6. It's now between 5 and 6, but it's leaning more towards 5. So I really want it to come down even further so that it will give me the effect that I want. Now a lot of people will say, oh, my creams do not work, my creams don't give me results. It's because the pH is not stable enough to deliver the kind of results that you want. So here I'm going to keep on mixing, keep on trying, keep on checking to make sure that I am getting the result that I want. Can you see the difference? You can see the difference now. So now we're more on leaning towards 5. Okay, so we can actually leave it this way and it will be fine. Okay, we can actually leave it this way. So now what we'll do is we'll come back to our cream. go ahead and add since we're more on 5, we're going to go ahead now and add our lactic acid into our cream. You can decide to add your lactic acid in small drops, or you can decide to use 1% of the total batch of your formulation to get the amount of lactic acid you need in your formula. This will help you get the accurate quantity, but you can also just keep adding small drops, small quantities until you get to the pH that you want. We're going to discard this water and then come back and test again. Then we're going to collect a very tiny amount of cream, which is about 1% of the total weight. Then we're going to add 2. Then we're going to take our written paper and try again. Voila, this is what we want. Okay, so this is between 4 and 5, so it's like 4 point something. Okay, so this is what we need. This is what we're looking for. This is exactly what we're looking for. I'm going to mix it thoroughly and then try again. You can buy this paper from us if you want. So you can see it's between 4 and 5, and that's exactly where we want our pH to be. So yep, we are now good. Can you see it's no longer between these two, it's between this and this. Okay, it's 4 point something. That's how we want it to be. So our cream is pH balanced, so you don't have any issues. See how creamy this is. This is the most creamy. This is the creamiest cream and it's done in a while. See how nice and creamy it looks. So I'm going to store my cream in this beautiful container. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video was helpful and beneficial to you. I'm going to keep making more videos on base creams and other kinds of creams that will help you do better or produce more effectively. Now you can now buy our courses. You don't have to wait for trainings, and I'm not sure I'm going to be doing any trainings anytime soon anymore, but you can buy our courses and you can go through them, read up, watch videos, and then send in your questions, and I will be readily available to answer your questions. Now if you want details on our courses that you can buy, kindly send me a WhatsApp message using the link down below. If you want to buy this product and other products that we have available, you can check our website, or you can send me a direct message on WhatsApp to get any of our products. Please, if you have questions on this video and you are not my student yet, kindly leave your comment in the comment section and I will answer them on the comment section so that we don't mix up things on WhatsApp. Okay, all right. I can't even begin to emphasize how luxurious this cream feels. This cream is so luxurious, like your high-end products cannot even stand here. It's very smooth, very, very beautiful on the skin. Oh, and did I forget to say, very effective too. Try this formula or try this recipe and come back and appreciate me. Tell me thank you for this recipe. If you haven't subscribed, please take this time to subscribe down below, hit the notification bell, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up and share my videos. Okay, thank you so much for this, for always coming back and making sure that my videos are seen. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Okay, bye.